College Football 27 is here, Units Dynasty fans, and we are starting this year off strong with a schedule outcome prediction video. We will be going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different team schedules, predicting the win or the loss based off each week. We will see their overall record at the end of what it is predicted to be, and then we will get into the season, ladies and gentlemen. Starting off with yours truly, Ball State. We start off week 0 with a bye. We like that. We like the slow starts. We like time to recuperate, to get our depth chart in order. And we will go on week 1 at the Battle of the Bronze Stalk against Northern Illinois University. And this will be a win, ladies and gentlemen. A fat win for the Ball State Cardinals. That will bump us up to 1-0 to start the year. Going on to the next week, we play an FCS team, and of course, you guessed it, another win. Easy money for these Cardinals. We will go on to week 3 to face UL Monroe, and you've guessed it, another win. You'll see a trend here throughout the schedule for this Ball State team that most of these teams are not too crazy, not too difficult, and we'll continue the win streak against Kent State. Feeling good, but then we face Toledo. The master, the king himself. And we already know that'll be a big fat fucking L. I mean, let's be honest here. That's a loss for these Ball State Cardinals here. That's a loss. He owns me. I don't know if I've ever beat him. And it'll probably stay that way. So, looking off to start the year, Ball State is going to start with a 4-1 record. We will go on to play Georgia State, and I predict that we will get another win there. I predict that we will get a win against Bowling Green. And I predict that we will get a win against Sacramento State. Going into week 9, we have a bye. And then, surprise, surprise, we lose to UMass. I think one reason we lose here is this team is terrible. It's, last I checked, a 67 overall. Not good. Not good at all. Terrible, in fact. Quite terrible. And I'm bound to lose to some of these teams. I'm probably being a little too optimistic here. Let's go ahead and update the schedule. So, after our Toledo loss, we get 1, 2, 3 wins. So that's 5, 6, 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins total. And then we're going to lose to UMass in week 10. I think we take the dub against Buffalo. And I think... I think we take the L against Ohio, the Ohio Bobcats. Some of these games are going to be a toss-up. The team is just so bad. I'm rusty, and I think week 12 we're going to struggle a little bit. And then we will finish out the year with a win, posing a respectable record of, let's upgrade that, so that'll be 9-3. Let me double check my math here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins and 3 losses. Yes, I believe our final schedule at the end of our final record at the end of the season, I should say, will be 9-3. Not great, not terrible. Wouldn't be surprised if we could go 10-2, maybe 11-1 if you know this team is better than it is on paper. I just want to be realistic here, and I think this may be a realistic prediction. Going on to Temple. Temple. Whoo. Am I right, fellas? I know the good old coach himself appreciates that. Temple will be starting out here with week 0 on a bye, and they will go to play an FCS team and get that W. W's all day for Temple against the FCS team. Now, you may be surprised, but the next game they play is against ranked number 17, Penn State. They're at least ranked number 17 at this current time, but I think they will probably remain in the top 25 by the time Week 2 rolls around. And Penn State, John, I know you said keep it on there. I asked if you wanted me to take it off, and you said, nah, you wanted the rivalry game, and for that, you're getting the L. You're taking the L against Penn State, my friend. I'm sorry. But with this Temple team starting out, no. Year 1, going up against Penn State after coming off an FCS team? Come on. Let's be for real here. You really think, after months of not playing college football, in a brand new game that does feel a bit harder, coming off an FCS win, you think you're going to beat Penn State? Now, I will say, this is at Temple Stadium, so you don't got to worry about, you know, the stadium pulse. Penn State's going to be a bridge too far, my friend. You're going to struggle with that one, and you will get blown out 45-3 is my prediction on that game. Going on to Kennesaw State, though, he will get the win against Kennesaw. He will get the win against Army. That'll bring us up to a 3-1 record to start the year for Temple, and then we play USF. Battle of the Dregs, boys. Battle of the Dregs. Oh my, oh my. What do I predict for this battle between the Dregs? I predict a Temple W. Temple will get the win here. USF never does good in the early seasons, let alone in the user games in the early seasons. Temple gets the win against USF in Week 5. Easy money for Temple. They'll move up to 4-1. And then they move on to UConn. Man, how I would love for this to be a user game, bro. I miss those Huskies. But their former coach is lazy and doesn't want to partake, which I respect, I understand. It's a shame, but we accept it. For this UConn game, Temple, you lose. Yeah, you're going to lose to some of these teams, especially year 1. You know, Week 6, you're starting to get into a rhythm. I think after USF inevitably throws 5 interceptions against you, you're going to be a little cocky. You're going to think your defense is the shit. You're going to have them on the auto on this UConn game, and they're not going to perform as well as you think. They will not be getting 5 interceptions against UConn, and you will lose a close game there. Week 7 in Charlotte, Temple takes the W, of course, and then they move into a bye. So just to do a little recap here, we've got 5 Temple wins, and we've got 2 Temple losses. 5-2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5, and then 2 losses. Moving into Week 8, you have the bye, and then you go on, assuming Carson is in by then, which he should be. You got East Carolina, a user game. Temple, this is a tough prediction here. I will not lie. This is tough because it's a user game. It ain't no USF. And East Carolina can be scrappy. I think Temple gets the win. I think Temple gets the win, goes up to 6-2 on the year, looking at a good spot to make a run at their conference championship, and they will continue on with a win against Navy, a win against UAB, and then Rice. Rice. You get a win. And you finish out the year with a win. Another quick recap here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins for Temple to finish off the season 10-2. Probably one of the best first season performances we will ever see from Temple. This is my prediction. The teams may be worse, the game may be harder, but Temple has the grit and the passion needed to succeed in the first season. I believe the third time is the charm, and this is the third year, and Temple will be a scary team to keep an eye on. Moving on to the king himself, Toledo. We all know this team is good. They start out with the bye. They lose to Michigan State. You may be thinking, now hold on. What's that about? Why are they losing to Michigan State? 2 words for you. Rust and something else that I can't think of. Essentially, he'll be rusty. In Michigan State, they're not as bad as some of the other teams on this schedule, so they'll lose to Michigan State, but they'll get the win against FCS team. Starting out the year, fix that real quick. Starting out the year 1-1. Little rocky start for the Toledo Rockets here. They'll go on to win against Old Dominion, San Diego State, and we already decided this. They will go on to win against me, bringing their record up to 4-1 with a 4-game win streak after their Michigan loss. They will continue on the next week after kicking my ass, and they will play Buffalo, and they will get a win. Moving up to 5-1, they'll play East and West Michigan. They'll win both of those games. Moving up to 7-1, they'll take the bye, rest and recover. They'll play against Sac State and win, UMass and win, Bowling Green and win, and finish out with the win against the Ohio Bobcats, solidifying a seat at the conference championship for the MAC. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wins for Toledo in year 1. I believe this is fully achievable looking at the schedule here, and they will get it done. Easy mode. Moving on to UNLV's schedule here. UNLV, you are starting out week 0 at Memphis, and you will get the win there at Memphis. Going on to play Hawaii. There will be no user team on this Hawaii team, and you will get the win as a result. You probably would have won either way, though. Moving on to North Texas, you get the win. You move up to 3-0 on the year, and then you'll take a little nice break on a bye. You'll win against Akron. Move up to 4-0, and then you will take the L against Cal because they will just be too much for you to handle. And then you play North Dakota State University. For those of you who are not aware, North Dakota State University is a new addition to college football, and it is a user team. The former Coastal Carolina coach will be coaching the NDSU team here, but they will not have any luck against UNLV. They will lose to UNLV. Wait, I did that wrong. Go back. They will lose to UNLV. I meant to put a check mark there, that's fine. 5-1 to start the year. North Dakota State loses to UNLV in week 6. Moving on, week 7, Air Force. UNLV gets the W. They get a bye. They move on to Northern Illinois University, and they take the loss. Because I just feel it. They'll take another loss against Wyoming. That'll be more likely to happen if it is a user team. We will see if it is. But then they will bounce back, get a win against New Mexico, a win against San Jose State, and a win against their arch nemesis, Nevada. Moving on to finish out the year, 9-3, just like Ball State's record. Now we will head over to UTSA. UTSA, you start out with a bye and then an FCS team that is very good for you. You get the win starting out. You will go on to play an AI Texas State team because the coach is on sick leave and will not be able to coach the beginning of the season or the entire season at all. And you will still lose because you will be rusty and cocky after that FCS win. All is not lost, though, because you will go on to win against Akron, Colorado State, and Rice, which will bump up your overall record to 4-1 to start the year. And then comes USF. We've seen this USF team play in the past. We know how they perform, and we know they do not do well, especially early on. It's the first season, the first half of the first season. I expect at least 4 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and not surpassing 10 points for this USF team. UTSA cruises to an easy victory and improves their record to 5-1. They will go on to win against Navy and make their final record or overall record at this point 6-1, but they will lose to Tulane. Tulane can be a scary team. We do not want to take them lightly. UTSA, if you do not want this prediction to come true, prep for Tulane. They will not be an easy AI. They will be your hardest AI you'll play against. You'll then have a week, or a bye week in week 9. You'll move on to an easy win against Florida Atlantic, a win against North Texas, a win against UAB, and then you will sell to Tulsa, selling your conference championship potential. So, to tally the total record, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 wins for UTSA and 3 losses. Very understandable, very expected for a team of this caliber. I may be expecting people to do a lot better than I initially would think at the beginning. I think Coach Thomas has prepped, he is trained, he has played single-player Dynasty. He's probably the most prepared out of any player in the entire league at this time, other than Toledo, who is just flooded with natural talent and ability. Moving on, we have USF, my friend! Not an easy schedule for you, I'm not gonna lie. Not an easy schedule at all. But prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong. Starting out at week 0, we will have a bye, and then you will lose to FIU. It is just expected. It's the beginning. It's the first game. You'll lose to FIU. You'll lose to Army, but then you will recover with a win against the FCS team. Starting out your season with a 1-2 record, you will move on to Bowling Green, and you will take a win, moving up to 2-2. We already discussed this earlier. You'll take a fat L against Temple. That's just expected and necessary at this point, so you will move on to 2-3. You will take another L, back-to-back user games here in week 5 and 6. You will take an L against UTSA. So unfortunate, but it's going to happen. You will fall to 2-4 in your first season. You will bounce back against Kent State. Fear not, my friend. You will bounce back and you will improve your record 3-4, but you will then take the L against UAB after that week 8 bye week, moving on to 3-5. You will then play East Carolina, depending whether or not there is a user coach on this team by now, which I believe there will be. Won't be good for you. Won't be good. I'm just going to say that right now. Not good. Not good, USF. A third user game means a third user game loss for you, my friend. You fall to 3-6. Now, you'll close out the year. No. I was going to say you'll close out the year with wins. But I think with being 3-6 at this point, you will be so demoralized, you'll be so depressed that you're not going to be able to save the season. Best you could do at this point when you're 3-6, the best you can do is go even and go 6-6. You ain't going to do that, my friend. You're going to fall to 3-7 with the L against Memphis. It is just going to happen. I feel it. But you will feel reinvigorated playing this Florida Atlantic team, and you will get the dub there, moving up to 4-7, and then finishing off the year with a loss to Tulane. 4-8. Not a great start for USF, obviously, but I believe it is the start we expect. I believe it's the start that is most likely going to happen. I mean, we can do a quick recap here. Week 1, you lose that. Army, they're better than you, you lose that. you clean up the FCS team pretty nicely, and you feel invigorated, and you move on to a win against Bowling Green. But you lose in the user game to Temple, you lose in the user game to UTSA, you play Kent State and you beat them, and then after the bye, you're a little rusty, you lose to UAB, you lose to East Carolina, you lose to Memphis, and it all seems lost, but you see there's another Florida team on the line, and you just want to try your ass off. And you get the win! And then lose to Tulane. Pretty expected. Moving on to JMU's schedule. Hello, JMU. Lucky for you, Bibberty is not a part of the league at this time. I don't know if he will return. I hope he will one day. But after the bye, you'll start out with a win against Bibberty. Moving on to 1-0. You play an FCS team, and you get another win there. Moving on to 2-0. You play San Diego State. You get a win. You move on to 3-0. You get a win against Old Dominion. You move on to 4-0. Then you lose to the Marshall, the Thundering Herd. You gotta lose some of these games. You're not going to go undefeated the first year, that's for sure. I think you win against Georgia Southern. I think that's very easily doable for you. And I think you lose to Georgia State. Can't beat two Georgia teams back-to-back like that. Not going to happen. You're going to lose that game, and then you're going to lose to App State. Sorry, brother. I hate to say it. App State's better than you. They just are this time. You bounce back with a win against Troy and a win against Southern Miss, moving up to 7-3. You'll go on to win against the Huskies. And good for your sake that Coastal Carolina has lost their coach to the North Dakota State University team, and you will get the win against Coastal Carolina as a result, moving up to 9-3 on the year. Very respectable start for these JMU Bulldogs. Moving on, we have North Dakota State. Now, this guy wanted every user team out the ass thrown at him. Unfortunately, the scheduling just does not allow me to accommodate for that. You know, I also got to take in consideration what other people want, and I'm sure there are at least half the people in your requests didn't want to play you. Temple, I know, does not want to play you. Let's just put it like that. But you'll start out week 0 with a win against Jack State, and a win against FCS, and then a win against Air Force. You'll go 3-0. You'll lose to Sac State because you'll just feel like you're on top of the world and you're a seller in these games. You always sell. Week 4 bye. Week 5 Wyoming. You lose to Wyoming. And then you lose to UNLV, as we've established earlier. That UNLV game is going to be rough for you, my friend. It's going to be rough, as we can see here. UNLV gets the win. Not good for you, but you bounce back. You beat Nevada pretty easily. You move up to 4-3, and then you go on to beat New Mexico, and you move up to 5-3, and then you get UTEP, easy win, 6-3, and then you have a bye. You get to reset, rest, and you lose to Hawaii because the bye has you rusty, and Hawaii is not a bad team. You drop to 6-4, my friend, but you finish out the year with 2 dubs, moving up to 8-4. Maybe surprising to some, seeing this NDSU team falling to 8-4. You know, after they've been so hyped, but we know this. We know this about this team. We know they have a history of underperforming at every level. They made it to the national championship, I believe, once, lost to the AI, and then never did anything of relevance ever again. It's expected. So, just a quick little recap here. We've got Ball State's final schedule record prediction at 9-3. Temple will take a commanding 10-2 overall record at the end of the season. Toledo will be 11-1. UNLV will be 9-3. UTSA will be 9-3. JMU will be 9-3, and NDSU will be a respectable 8-4. Let me know what y'all think about these predictions, fellas, and let's get this season started! Thank you so much, guys, for watching these videos. They do take quite a bit of time to make, so Would love for y'all to, talk in the chat, get excited for the season, and let's get this thing rolling. Go Ball State, go Temple, fuck you USF.